Hello there. So today I want to talk about author identity. That is something that I worked on before getting any of my books published. And it was something that was very important to me because I wanted from the onset to be clear on the type of writing that I was going to do. And also because I have a lot of connection to signs and symbols, I tend to see them everywhere. And I mean, we all do, but I pay special attention to them. And one of the things that I kept on seeing at the time that I was deciding on how seriously to take my writing were pyramids, pyramids and triangles. And so eventually, after I did a lot of research on it, I realized that pyramids are about stability, balance, personal development, personal action, and that has been instrumental in a lot of my writing. I like to write about self-development and people stories, including my own sometimes, of how you get to know yourself and how you grow and how you develop as an individual, and thus I've created an author identity around that. I have a logo, which is in fact a triangle that has sort of shapes that look like a pyramid. And it is because I wanted to honor the fact that these signs and symbols were coming to me at a time when, I was deciding what my future was going to be with writing. And once I decided that this really was where I was going to focus my time and attention, it just became sort of a natural way to say that I wanted to incorporate that into an author identity. I also have sort of a branding that is called Trust in Your Soul's Destination. And the reason that I selected that is that was one of the messages that was coming to me a lot when I was deciding, again, how seriously to take my writing, whether to keep it as a hobby, which was what I'd been doing for most of my life, or whether actually to embark and publish the books, which you can see behind me. And so it was just really trusting my inner voice, learning that that was something that I needed to honor. And I created my author identity around that. I write both poetry and novels, and the poetry tends to be more of a personal expression, me sharing either my perspective, my views, snapshots of things that I'm experiencing. And a lot of them have come together through a personal journey, personal growth. And for instance, I have realized that poetry helps me connect within. It's a good way for me to find a way to express myself. Novels are a little different for me in that they're fictional, and so I use either collection of personal experiences of others, or things that I'm just imagining, but I also still focus on self-development and those pivotal moments in people's lives when they make a significant change. And for instance, go from just going following one thing to the other, to actually listening to their inner guidance, and following their life's purpose. It isn't necessarily that set for every story, but it is sort of a focus that I have as I write or as I put together stories. And so to me, having an author identity was very important. It was instrumental in my own personal journey, becoming an author, and in the stories and the poems that I write. And so, if you're out there trying to figure out if you should have an author identity or a logo or something to represent who you are as an author, I don't think it's necessary, but if that's something that you want to explore and you want to try to consider put together, I would say, pay attention to the things that are important to you. What comes up in your writing? What connections do you see or similarities do you see in your writing? Also, what is important to you? What drives you? What motivates you? And also think about how that would translate into the stories, or you know, the poetry or whatever else it is that you want to share. So yeah, those are things to keep in mind in case you're wanting to create your own author identity.